So we've got this obesity pandemic now, and and in the UK particularly, we're seeing this skinny fat pandemic.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard the word in
Yeah.
So skinny fat, as in the guys who don't have any muscles, but they're essentially carrying hips. They got hips. They got very gynocentric phenotypes. Their whole body is very gynocentric. So they got high prolactin, high estrogen, and for me, I advise a lot of these guys to fast. So fasting, as in, there's actually good studies out there, fasting and release of growth hormone. Because fasting, you think it's a catabolic state, but it's a state that puts the body into shock. So it's not a catabolic state as such. It's actually a heightened state of, your body gets more heightened state of almost a stress state. So that releases catecholamines. Right. Catecholamines. So the growth hormone, during a fasted state, is actually very, very noticeable. The growth hormone release during fasted state, particularly with full body workouts. So fasted deadlifts and fasted, let's say, bench press and powerlifting has a noticeable increase in human growth hormone. Not as much as nighttime when you're sleeping, but certainly if you're looking at overall peaks in GH in a fasted state. But we've desensitized our dopamine receptors to constant food, constant stimulation, self-soothing behavior, particularly in this
scrolling on the phone.
Yeah, exactly. Just dopamine. So we can't have the deferred gratification of food. So we have to have food every 2 hours, by the way. And that's the antithesis of fasting. Fasting, there's actually very good studies done in mice, growth hormone and fasting. And people say, but I want to get bigger. But if you want to get bigger, literally fast. As in, if you can, don't be in a calorie deficit to get bigger. But if you want to get bigger, I literally have a smaller eating window. Have the 18-hour fasting window. You're prolonging your time in a GH release, by the way, when you're fasting.
Right. And on top of that, you're reducing the metabolic syndrome effects.
Yeah.
If you're insulin resistant, if you're leptin resistant, you're not going to be able to grow muscle as efficiently if you're very insulin sensitive. Yeah. Because you're going to shuttle more of that fuel into fat. You're going to have less recovery. You're not going to feel as good. You're not going to train as hard. You're more likely to get injured from the inflammation. So these are all downstream effects. Like the problem is in the traditional medical field, they're like, oh, fasting is nonsense. It doesn't matter. It's calories in, calories out. Calories in, calories out are true. But using fast strategically to change the profile of the body, to become more leptin sensitive, to become more insulin sensitive, to become more anabolic from a growth hormone perspective. Now, growth hormone alone won't make you grow because it needs growth hormone plus insulin to make IGF-1.
Yes, exactly.
The growth hormone, what it does when you're fasting is it maintains the muscle. So a lot of guys, when I tell them to fast, they're like, I'm going to lose my muscle. I'm like, no. You have growth hormone to make sure you keep on the proteins and use fat for fuel.
Yeah, exactly. So the whole ILGF, people completely misunderstand this.